Hi guys, it's me, Ren, and I would like to talk about this weekly content, and it's about True Mother and the history that we knew in the past. I want to do some comparison as well that I had talked about it. Yeah, so I will just do some simple description about what happened to True Mother, HakJaHan. So it's according to the ChatGPT, here's what I got. HakJaHan current legal trouble center on the testimony of the former Unification Church International Headquarters leader Yun Young-ho, and Yun Young-ho told the investigator that he delivered 100 million won in cash to the lawmaker Kwon Song-dong under the instruction which he implied including HakJaHan. Is his testimony, and they want to try to find the proof, right? And here's the proof that they're trying to find, the evidence that they found by the investigators. They say in Yun's diary, and it written that one big bill support and Kwon Song-dong's lunch, and it's something much more like we are committing a bribery, and because we want to do a political influences. To be honest, it's really like a weak support, because here only have the evidence that he did gave the money, or he have a proof that he have the motivation to give the money without letting us know where is the money come from. And another thing is that this evidence didn't prove anything about True Mother said anything to President Yun. Our former President Yun. Yeah. So then the prosecutors, and they are trying to just say that, so then HakJaHan is the one who controlling everything, and since she have the right inside the church, and so then she will be the one who controlling everything. And so then they just put her into prosecutions and say that you are committing a political crime in this way, or you are doing a bribery. But obviously True Mother didn't do that. True Mother didn't insist to do that, and True Mother don't have any motivation to do that as well. You need to know that. And so then True Mother refused, or we say they say that deny the wrongdoings and refused the multiple summons before her arrest in September 2025. This according to the ChatGPT. But the part that she refused for the summons actually is a false accusation.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Because at that time she was undergoing a heart surgery, and actually, when you're doing some heart surgery, some surgery are big and some are small. But for 82 years old woman, you need to know that True Mother is an old woman. And so then after you're going through this kind of surgeries, and you just face very serious health issues, and you might even face you need to take longer time than the young people than they do. And usually young people, they need few months, because it's hard, and you are trying to let the scars not to broken, so then you need to be really careful in the usual days. It just appear in the court willingly, and she appeared in the court, and they just keep on asking her for 8 hours and another hour and a half for the checkings. Bro, it's too much.
You are a rude, terrible person.
Woman, you are really treating her as a criminal, and it's before the judgment of the law, and it's really a dumb thing to do, to be honest. You don't have any right to judge anyone. In a modern society, that the society are talking about law, even the people, a serious killer, before the judge claim that he is guilty, before that You cannot accuse him as a criminal or something. You can only say that he might be a criminal and you want to do some investigation that is approvable, but you are treating her as a criminal. You are treating Holy Mother Han, you are treating the True Mother as a criminal in this way, and without a solid evidence for that. You only have the evidence that Yun Yongho gave the money to the Kwon Song Dong, but you don't have the evidence the True Mother HakJaHan gave any instruction to Yun Yongho. And there's something that the ChatGPT gave to me about our Holy Mother Han situation. And so then today I would like to share about one of the history that I look is kind of similar in this way. Like there are two, to be honest. One is on Yue Fei. Yue Fei is a general in the Southern Song dynasty, and at the time they are being invaded by the Jin dynasty, and so then he like keep on like fighting back towards them. But then even though he have a lot of loyalty, he have a local military, and the local military is like absolute loyalty towards the king, Southern Song dynasty. But then because of the people's jealousy and at the same time fear that they're gonna lose their throne after they gain back their land, and so then Qin Hui and also the Southern Song dynasty king, which we call him Song Gaozong, they both plan to make him die without a solid accusation, and so then they make up an accusation that's called Moshuyo. Moshuyo is really for me, I'll just translate it as into something like perhaps that's a crime, perhaps there is, and just because that perhaps there is something, and they kill Yue Fei. They just kill Yue Fei because of there may be a crime. Actually, it sounds really similar to the situation that happening in China right now in Xinjiang, with the China government, the Chinese Communist Party putting the Muslim into the prison because they just call them the potential terrorists. In this way, and they are basically making some judgment. And right now True Mother was being put into a detention center. More than 10 days. It's only like a 6.6 meter square, like square feet. Like it's only a very small space. And what you're gonna do right there? But you are basically torturing people, and it's much more like making them losing their mind, and basically like a slow way to kill somebody mentally and psychologically. And so then and this is the story of Yue Fei that being happened in the past, but luckily the citizens actually recognize his work and his loyalty to the dynasty, and so then people are so respecting to him and build a statue for him. At the same time, building a statue for Qin Hui and Song Gaozong and Qin Hui's wife. And why? Because they are really pissed off to those people who don't really recognize others' hardworking and loyalty. And here is in there is in Henan, a place in China, and there's a temple for it, and you can just go there and kind of worshipping Yue Fei, or you say glorify Yue Fei. At the same time, you go and piss off, and you can slap the statues. I will just show you right here. So basically, there's somebody you just go there and slap. Just a fun fact for you. Usually, people see this as something like a sign of justice, a temple of justice. So whenever China government they did something dirty, they will just close the temple, and they will just say that under maintenance. But they just don't want people to have a faith, so they're always just doing something like this and to deny some people. through my other situation, incident, it just remind me about the Moshio. Perhaps that's a crime, the crime that is called. Perhaps there is something. Yeah, like to be honest, it's really dirty, and somehow like they did it to a 82 years old woman. In another way, when looking at the members' reaction, I would like to share about like the Bible and the Bible story about like Jesus before he go, like that he go onto the cross, the persecution that Jesus faced. So during the Last Supper, is in the Matthew chapter 26, 17 to 30. So after the Last Supper, and Jesus just went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and so then he went there, have a prayer, but the members, the three group disciples, is not really following him at that time. They fall asleep, and so then Judas Iscariot just bring the Roman soldiers and towards him. It is the soldiers sent by the chief priest, and he just gave Jesus a kiss, and they just bring Jesus away. Jesus was arrested, and at first they went to the Jewish religious authorities, and they tried to find some evidence that Jesus is doing something satanic, because they believe that human can only be like a slave or something, like one of the belonging that God has, and you never be like a son, like Jesus, what he claimed towards himself, I'm the Son of God. And they're just trying to find some evidence, and they can't, and they just do the 4 witnesses to Jesus, and yeah, for sure Jesus can't say yes for that. And after that, the high priest just directly asked him that, oh, are you the Messiah or the Son of the Blessed One? To be honest, this question itself is like, are you a witch or are you a bitch somehow? Like basically both of the answer like apply to Jesus well. Like he is the Messiah, at the same time he is the Son of the Blessed One. But then in the Jews context, you cannot be one of those. So then Jesus just say that, yes, I am, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven, on Mark chapter 14, 61 to 62. So in this way, the council just condemn him for blasphemy and declare that he deserves death. And because of the Jewish leader don't have any authority to execute, so they sent to the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. And so then Pilate just asked him like, oh, so what are you doing? And found that he don't have any charge, and he's like, well, I can't do anything because this guy have nothing. And then he just sent him to another guy, and his guy, the name Hero Antipas. But even Herod, he just mocked Jesus after mocking, and he's like, nothing, like he don't have any charge that we can put onto him, and he sent back to the Pilate. But then the Pilate like still seeing like people like, oh wow, they are too much, I need to give some contrast to them, right? I need them to choose what they need, what they want, what's the right thing. He believes in people too much, at the same time he don't want to take up any responsibility. And so then he bring out the Barabbas and Jesus, and he just put like 2 people together, and like, who do you want to free? Is it the Barabbas or the Jesus? Jesus the Nazareth. Like Jesus the Nazareth is like totally innocent, and this Barabbas, he killed so many people. And people choose the Barabbas. Why? Because the priests say that you need to free the Barabbas. We need to send Jesus to death anyway. Like because he's challenging our authority in this way. And so then the people are being stirred up, and they just blindly follow. I mean, this is much more like a culture thingy. Last time I was talking with another another sister who came from Israel, and talking about like the Israelites, they also like kind of having a situation that they don't want to take up any responsibility, so they would just follow things. So it's much more like a culture thinking, and so then they choose Barabbas in this way. The crowd choose the Barabbas, and so then and Pilate, and he just like, oh, Jesus is innocent, but then he's like, okay, yeah, you all just choose this, and he just washed his hand and saying that I'm innocent of this man's blood. It is your responsibility. Is on the Matthew chapter 27:24. Chapter 27:24, and Jesus was scourged and mocked by Roman soldiers, and with a crown of thorn and a purple robe, and later being crucified. Now, at first they mean to not kill Jesus, but somehow people's emotion is like too much, and in the end they make it like to kill Jesus in this way. But actually Pilate, he can do something at that time. He can just stop everything. He have the right, he have the authority. The Jews, they don't have any authority for that. So somehow like he led the evil work. He led the evil work. Kind of such a shame, to be honest. And yeah, but after that, let's see what happened to Jesus' disciple at the time. The Jesus' disciple, okay, first they failed to follow him. Even though Jesus in the Last Supper, he already gave so many hints, and they don't really get it. In another way, they are not really with Jesus. They are just following Jesus for his miracles. And at that time, I'm not saying that after, I mean before, somehow. Like, so when Jesus was being like captured, arrested, and none of the disciples stood up for him and say that, oh, I'm his followers and he is the righteous one, he is innocent. No one really stand up for him in this way. And yeah, and even all of them just flee away, and Peter even denied Jesus 3 times. Like 3 times. Jesus knew it. He said he won't, but he still did it. And somehow I think he was really being guilty or something, like, oh, so then I did something stupid. But at the same time, he will just say that I'm not stupid, because the Roman, they already put him onto the cross, and it means that he really have something, right? We don't know. Like, I'm not Peter himself, so I can't speak for him, but I'm just guessing. And so then, this is the Jesus story, and that's what happened to Jesus. And it's kind of a sad story, to be honest. And let's look back to our True Mother incidents recently. And so then True Mother just kept on, after she was being, not after, but like on the way she went to the court, and actually she did tell to the members saying that, so please don't worry about me, don't pray for me, pray that the will of the Heavenly Parent can be fulfilled, and give your devotion, offer your devotion based on this. And why True Mother is saying this, because that there's a lot of incidents that we are happening right now, and a lot of things that we human beings don't think that we can really forgive. Like in the Old Testaments, Moses told the people that if you have the enemy, you need to hate them, you need to like stone them or something, right? You love your neighbor, hate your enemy. But in Jesus' time, love your enemy. If they slap one side of you, you need to give another side of your cheek and let them slap up. And also mention about like the Holy Spirit. For those who are attacking the Holy Spirit can be forgiven. And True Mother, we call her the substantial Holy Spirit. And right now she is giving us another new direction, a new truth, or somebody will just call it the gospel, a new gospel, and we call it the Trinity era, the heavens era. And saying that, even though they persecute me, you need to forgive them. And it's basically like True Father when he went to the Danbury prison, and instead of telling the members to lament for him, cry for him, is injustice. True Father, what he said, members gather up, let's do okmanse. It's like cheer, like in the current way of cheering, they call it okmanse. And a lot of members were confused at that time. And to be honest, when True Mother saying this, I just feel something similar. Don't grieve, don't live in pain, don't live in your anger, don't let the negativity control over you. Rejoice. You need to put your head up and continue to walk forward, forward. Yeah, that's the point that we need to do right now, and that's what I'm trying to do as much as I could, as like to voice out a little bit things about it. Yep. And I think that's it for today, my content. And to be honest, I don't think I will do this about like True Mother content too much, and I'm gonna just start up another type of content. Is much more like the divine principle. So for those who are really interested about it and who are like new to it, I won't say that I can do it really basic, but for discussion wise, I think that you can just follow my account and I will just do it more and more, maybe weekly. I'm trying to make it weekly, but if I can make it weekly, sorry, but yeah, I will do my best to do all this update from time to time. Yep. So I think that's all for today's content, and see you in the next coming video. Peace.